Yo, what is up, YouTube? What is up, Lakers Nation? How we doing today? So I wanted to get on here and talk about a couple things. Today, the Lakers are taking on the Golden State Warriors. Rui Hachimura has been ruled out. Jared Vanderbilt is set to make his return, and all of this is good news. And it kind of got me thinking about a couple things I was thinking over the last couple days here with JJ Redick and LeBron's comments about the way the roster is constructed doesn't give them a lot of room for error. They have to play very close to perfect basketball, which we've seen a very close representation of that against the Celtics a couple days ago. And then Anthony Davis actually having a sit down with Shams, doing a whole half hour interview, which is very rare for Anthony Davis, but it was fun to see him doing an interview. And one of the things that he mentioned was him winning another big. And he says that it's been, the last several years that, or last few years, last couple of years, whatever you want to call it, that he's been asking the Lakers to get another big for him. Now, I get that one of our best lineups, or our best lineups, are generally with Anthony Davis at the center, which I'm not disputing. But I don't know if you guys remember a few years back, the quote unquote death lineup that the Warriors had when they had Kevin Durant, and they would typically take out their center, put in Iggy, and then move Draymond to center. Same thing the Lakers did in the title run. Whenever they needed their quote unquote death lineup, they would typically take Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee off the floor, put Anthony Davis at center, and then they usually put in like Alex Caruso or something like that. And the reason I bring these things up is because that's the best, quote unquote, the best lineup, most effective lineup, doesn't mean you have to use it all the time. You don't always play your best card at the very beginning. You don't always have to go straight for your best move every time against every team. In a way, it can end up being counterproductive. Essentially, what Anthony Davis is saying is that he's getting worn out because he has to just think about what Anthony Davis has to do on the floor. And I know people bring up his motor and his inconsistency and things like that. But just think of what Anthony Davis has to do on the floor, all right? He has to guard the basket, protect the basket. He has to switch when defenders switch. So he might go from under the basket to the perimeter, and now there's a little guy down low. He has to follow the pick and roll. We saw this last year whenever Jamal Murray hit the game winner. They come up, do pick and roll, and he's essentially trying to split, defending two people. One man in front, he'd keep one man in front like this while trying to, split. And basically he's playing like in the middle, so he's giving up a little bit of room for people to get their jump shot off. He has to rebound. He has to get down the floor. It's doing a lot. All right. So if there's a pick and roll too, and he's brought to the top of the top of the key, it's a layup line in the back. Nobody's there to guard the basket at all. And one thing that Anthony Davis was really good at when he was playing the four was being a roamer. He could guard down low. He could guard up high. He can just kind of roam around. If he sees somebody break open, he can close. He can close to the 3-point line. He can close to the basket. He can block shots. He can alter shots. It's really not that it's really not that difficult. It's actually pretty simple, when you think about it. So if my superstar wants another big to play along with him, then I think that's what we should do. Now, I came up with a couple of concepts here. Oh, shout out JSM is a very, very good YouTuber. I've been following him for years, and I kind of stole his idea of a roster template here. So I hope he forgives me here because I'm not gonna lie, these are pretty good. So I wanted to kind of make my own version of it here. So let me hide my camera here. So this is essentially what our roster looks like right now. Starting lineup, our bench unit, and then the third string kind of fluctuates a little bit. But right now we got, Austin Reeves, Max, Rui, LeBron, and AD. Off the bench, we got, Gabe, Dalton, DFS, Vanderbilt making his return tonight, which is awesome, and then Jackson Hayes. So, with this alone here, one thing that I talked about when we first acquired DFS is actually maybe putting him in the starting lineup here. I think this would make sense for a couple reasons. One, he's a better defender. Two, he's a good shooter just like Rui is. And it's just a better fit for the starting lineup. But also, our bench unit doesn't always have a lot of scoring, where Rui can come into the bench unit, and he can provide that scoring lift that we need. So this would be what I would actually personally do with the current lineup. And this is no Rui slander, there's no Rui hate. I actually am a big, big fan of Rui, and would like to see him stay on the team. But this is one tweak that I would make, both to help improve the starting lineup and also to be a big boost for the bench unit. Which when Rui first got here, Vando started, and Rui came off the bench. I think Austin Reeves came off the bench at that time too. I'm pretty sure, and they were a big help in, in the bench unit being able to score points. Now, it's been floated around a lot of some center looks. Robert Williams, Walker Kessler, Nick Richards, even though he's already been dealt, Jakob Pertl. A few of these names have been tossed around. Now, the one I like the most is Walker Kessler. He's young. He's a big dude. He plays very good defense. He's a good rebounder, and he doesn't have a really big contract. So shout out Trevor Lane on this here. But if we pull up the trade machine, one second for me. Here we are. All right. So I'm not real good with this. I just kind of started tinkering with this, and I've heard all type of proposals, but this is definitely the one I like the best as far as getting it big. So we'll grab LA and we'll grab Utah. We'll start the trade. So we want Walker Kessler. Where's he hiding at? Walker Kessler right here. We want Walker Kessler. Now, what makes this so ideal is that he's still on his rookie contract. So his numbers aren't really that hard to match up with. Now, ideally, we give them JHS. And we're going to have to give them a first round pick. Maybe not the 2027. I'd say probably 2029. We would probably have to give them that pick. And look, we are able to complete this trade. It works perfectly. Now, with Walker Kessler in the lineup here, let me do this here. If we're able to get Walker Kessler, this is how I would see our lineup being here. Austin Reeves will still be at the point. At shooting guard, you could actually take your pick. You could either do Max Christie or DFS, LeBron at the small forward, Anthony Davis at the power forward, and then Walker Kessler at the center. Now, why I think this would actually work is because we have spacing, we have shooting, and we have size. So I know there's a lot made of LeBron playing the three, which could be valid, but I think if you have, all right, so hear me out. If you have Austin Reeves at the point and have one of these two at the two, that helps to cover for Austin Reeves. They can cover their man. They could cover Austin Reeves' man. Whoever's got it going, is who, they could be interchangeable. Same thing with LeBron and AD. If we're playing, Kevin Durant, or we're playing, Anthony Edwards or whatever, LeBron can guard these guys, but if it's somebody, quicker or shiftier, um, we can have Anthony Davis guard them. LeBron can swap down and guard the bigger, slower player, whatever's needed. And then if we play up to the perimeter, we force them to drive inside. We have Walker Kessler sitting at the basket to be our rim protector. Plus AD is lurking, so he can help protect the basket as well. And then off the bench, we would have Gabe. One of these two will probably go down into this position here, depending on Don Connect's got it going or not. One of these guys could easily fill those minutes. Rui's in there, Vando's in there, and then hopefully one of these days Christian Woods comes back, because he would be my idea to be the backup big more than Jackson Hayes, just to kind of give you a different look, give you somebody who can space the floor and rebound and be able to play some solid defense. So this is what my lineup would look like if we were to do the Walker Kessler trade. Now, stick with me here. Where's my camera? All right, now stick with me here, because I think this would be great. This would definitely help to improve the team. No question. We're bringing in a really good center, and we're not actually technically not losing anything because JHS doesn't play anyway. But I know we probably need more. Now, again, I want this on the record. I do not want Rui to go. I do not want to get rid of Rui Hachimura. I am a big fan of his game, and I like that he's a big fan of LA. But with that being said, the reality of the situation is, if we want to make a sizable trade, there's really not much of a choice outside of giving up Rui, just based on his contract. We would need his contract in order to make any type of significant moves. He's at 17 million, and he's our biggest contract we have to play with on the book. Now, this is what I would do if we have to get rid of Rui. I think we need shooting, and we need I want to say size. We'll need some size, and we need a potential starter, because he's, as of right now, he's a starter. So here's what I came up with. If you guys think this is the stupidest trade you've ever heard, I understand. I've been hearing a lot of trades from fans that are just god awful. But hear me out. Let's see what you guys think of this. So the person that I'm thinking of when it comes to the Lakers is Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, as of right now, I know he has the injury concerns. Okay. So yeah, I definitely get the injury concerns with Lonzo. Um, but when healthy, he provides defense. He provides size. He's 6'6". And although his 3-point percentage isn't that high, Lonzo has worked himself into being a very reliable 3-point shooter. I think he just made 5 of them the other day. Um, this checks a lot of boxes here for us. But the only thing is, Rui doesn't make quite enough for us to make this trade work. We're shy of about almost 10 million, it says. No, I was gonna say we're shy about $5 million. So the Bulls are pretty full as far as their roster, because I mean you could technically, you know, maybe go Jackson Hayes and let's say Cam Reddish. And yep, there we go. Done. Now, that could theoretically work. I don't know if this is the way that the Lakers would go, because with this, we would probably have to give them our second round picks. But at the same time, with Lonzo's injury concerns, we could technically try to ask them for some of their picks, but Lonzo has an expiring deal. So I don't see that. I don't see that working. So we're going to be giving them two expiring contracts, but Rui still has another year left in the book. So I don't know if that will actually work. So here's what I was thinking. How do we start this over? Let's start this over. All right, so here's what I was thinking. We're going to send them Rui for Lonzo. But we're also going to send them Gabe Vincent. And we're going to take back another one of our old friends here, and Taylor Horton Tucker. And that works out perfectly. It's a clean 2-for-2 swap. Now, again, I don't think we could ask them for any type of draft compensation in this, because both of their deals are expiring, whereas both of our guys still have a year left on the deal. So I don't think we can really ask too much for draft compensation. But why I think this would be a good move here is because Taylor Horton Tucker does have some size to him. He's bigger than Gabe Vincent is. He is classified as a secondary ball handler, so he can handle the ball. Probably a bit of a better ball handler than Gabe Vincent himself. And he's shooting really well from the three. Granted, it's not on a high percentage, but he has found his stroke, and he has been shooting it really well. So if we bring up here, okay, Lonzo allows Austin Reeves to slide back into his natural position at shooting guard. Lonzo can handle the point guard duties. He can handle guarding people. He can handle shooting. He can handle spacing the floor. I think it would be a good fit. So Lonzo would bump Austin Reeves back to shooting guard. LeBron would still be at the 3. AD would be at the 4. Walker Kessler at the 5. Now coming off the bench, we have THT to handle the ball, Max Christie, DFS, Vando, and hopefully Christian Wood would be great. And then in our third unit, we would still have, we still have Bronny, Shake Milton, but don't connect. We still have Cam Reddish, and we would still have, Jackson Hayes, Christian Koloko. So what this does, it gives us some shooting. Lonzo, Austin Reeves, and LeBron to some extent, depending on the night. We give us some shooting in our starting lineup. We give us a lot of defense between Walker Kessler, Anthony Davis, and Lonzo Ball. And then coming off the bench, it's all defense. We got Max, who can shoot. We got Vando, who can shoot. DFS, who can shoot. And then we got Vando, not really much of a shooter, but a great defender. Christian Woods can shoot. Taylor Horton Tucker can shoot. So our second unit has a very good balance of defense, and there's some shooting in here. And we have THT to handle the ball. We still have Dawn Connect. He can still develop without having so much pressure on him. Cam Reddish can still come in and defend. He could still be a spotty defender for us if we need him. And then we still have some backup bigs with some size and, some hustle players. So, and By no means would I say this is a perfect trade. I don't think there is a perfect trade out there for us, but I think this would be our best option. So you guys let me know what you think. Is this a good trade? Is this an awful trade? You guys let me know, and I appreciate you watching. If you watched up to this point, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to kick out some more Lakers content here really shortly, but thank you. Thank you again, and we appreciate you guys. GG's.